Good evening and welcome to the Minions of the Zoo Saturday edition. I'm your host and keeper of the Harry Channel, and with me tonight are Minions 2, soon to be 3, DrFunctional.
Hello.
And SkepTok.
Good evening, everybody.
So we're still waiting for people to show up, so
filter in.
So we don't have to say hello to everybody just yet. I already said hello in the chat. But what's new and exciting, Mr. Talk?
Well, it's been another week of retirement living and just running around doing errands. Been just a week of watching the world. You know, everybody's watching what's happening in the Middle East and watching our stocks fall out of bed. Everybody's 401k. Everybody's who's playing the broad funds right now is taking a few licks the last couple of days.
It has not been fun.
And it's but these are the times that try men's soul. Tough times don't last, tough people do.
Yeah. How's the garden coming along?
Very, very fine. As Brenda's surgical healing continues, part of her therapy is just get out there and just throw herself into her gardening. And that's meant extra work for me too, which is good. So I'm actually kind of worn out just from running around today. And,
tomorrow's going to be a lot of
stuff around
the
house.
Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a lot of hard labor for me. I've got I haven't got a lot of experience with chainsaws, but I have enough experience that now I have to sharpen my chainsaw blade. And I've never done that before. I have all the stuff. It's one of those things, you know, that whole 1,000 hours, 10,000 hours thing. When you've done something 0 times, you understand it intellectually, but you've never actually done it. It's just like you're holding this tool and you're like, what am I supposed to do? And after I do it 3 or 4 times, it's going to be easy, right? But right now I'm just like, I have this task to do. I've never done it before, and it's going to take me way longer than it's supposed to. But I've got stuff that needs to be chainsawed, and I don't want to buy a new chainsaw blade each time because I'm just not that rich.
Well, listen, take it from somebody who has sharpened chainsaws. I've been sharpening chainsaw blades literally for 40 years.
Yeah.
The only thing I use is a file, a little bit of oil, and a vise that's mounted to a sturdy bench. And just rotate the chain through there and I sharpen each tooth by hand with a file, and I can actually do it so fast. I can do it faster than a commercial place can.
Yeah, I can't remember which tool
I hand
it is.
sharpen each tooth with the file.
Well, yeah, you have to hand sharpen each tooth, but I have a tool from Steel, which even though I don't have a Steel chainsaw, it's a very simple.
I know what you have. Yeah.
Well, they make a few, but it's a very simple tool. It's like $20, and I'm going to try it out, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay.
But yeah, got a lot of heavy logs to cut and other things to deal with. It's just been one of those weeks.
Once you start to do that wholesale, you'll find a way that you like to do it.
Yes.
And that's what I found.
It's like people say, oh, making bread is hard. No, making bread is incredibly easy. You just have to sort of get the rhythm of it down. And once you make 4 or 5 loaves of bread, it starts to get easy really fast.
There are little moves that looks like that you learn.
Same thing with baking a cake or making a lasagna or making a hollandaise sauce. The first time you make a hollandaise sauce, it's always going to be hard. And it's going to crack and it's going to break and life is going to suck. But, just doesn't matter. Nobody's paying attention. Nobody's grading me except myself. I'll cut myself some slack. I just sort of anticipate that it's going to suck the first time, and I'm going to do a lousy job, but that's okay.
First few times.
Yeah, first few times.
But you don't have to torture yourself over it.
No, I have other things to torture myself over, which are completely different things.
Destroy your soul over.
Yeah.
Like I'm a schmuck. My first hollandaise sauce was perfect, but the next like 17 times it was just like it would break or something would go wrong, and it'd be like, I got it right the first time. Why can't I do? But it's just like any learned skill. You just got to practice.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. So, anything new and exciting, DrFunctional? You did a commission piece, but I don't think we can really talk about that. But man, I look at some of the stuff you do, and it's really I look at the stuff you do, and I'm like, you can just see the amount of work and care that goes into those things.
And a lot of it is I'm pointing at my brain like you can see my temple, like you can see me. But a lot of it is the conceptual period, right? Like there was no paint by numbers for what I showed you. And chat, in case you're wondering, big, beautiful Birdman type thing with these long blue feathers and has runes on his wings that have this green glow effect. So it's this and there's no paint by numbers for that. It's something you have to come up with ahead of time and know what you're going to do to be like, yeah, now I can bring that idea to fruition. I was really proud of it. Client is super happy. I love to be able to, like, just with my food, if I show people the artwork, just like I serve them the food, it might not be the artwork I'm doing for them, but for you to like be like, hey, that's super cool. Like, I could never do that. Like, oh my God. I mean, I can hear the smile that you're just like, wow, that's so cool. I wanted to share a quick story because I had a little bit of fun interaction today. So I shared with you a photo of basically just out front of my building, and it looked like Hoth. Chad, it was just like all white. There was some snow right in front of me, but you couldn't see 10 feet in front of your face because it was just this huge thick fog. And it literally looked like Hoth. There was just snow and then white. And so that meant temperatures are rising. It's 15 degrees C now. And that means the snow is melting very, very quickly. This causes a lot of flooding of our natural drainage ways, both the artificial man-made sewer system and the Toronto is a series of canals and not canals, ravines and rivers and shit that go out into Lake Ontario. And so I went out to get coffee before the show, and on my way home, I walked through this trail that I've shared photos with the guys before, and crossing this one ravine because I take a shortcut. I just hop over a shallow, an indent in the ravine. But the water was really high. Like, we're talking probably 1.5 meters. Normally it's maybe 6 inches. And so I saw, after I jumped the bank, I looked because I saw a rustling, probably inspired by me jumping. And there was a fox stuck in some roots and tree branches, like in the water. So I'm like, well, fuck, I don't want to get bit. What the fuck am I going to do? And I'm like looking around. I'm like, I don't know. And Harry, this is so funny. I walk over to the nearest tree and find this like probably 2-inch diameter branch. And I rip that son of a bitch off because my newfound strength has me fucking rocking it like Hercules. Fairly dead tree. So, I mean, the branch just snapped off. It didn't need very much rigidity because I just started poking and prodding the roots and branches that had this fox sort of like all twisted up. And eventually I got it wedged in there and gave it just a hard crank and snapped one of the roots and bent 2 of the others. And he fucking just gets out of the water and like just soaking wet, just runs off. And I was like, you're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Love my city because we get little pockets of nature like that. It's so peaceful.
But luckily it wasn't Hoth. Otherwise he would have split you open and crawled inside your carcass to get warm.
My carcass?
Yeah, you're the bigger thing. Isn't that how you survive on Hoth? You find something bigger than you, kill it, and then climb inside it?
Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, I could have eaten it.
Yeah.
Stayed warm with its
I realize that wasn't your plan A, but I'm just thinking about what the fox might have wanted. So
yeah. So I saved the fox from drowning. Yay.
So people
kind of neat.
People are starting to trickle in, which
we
is
have
good.
people.
Yeah, we have people. But I want to show you something. So this is a channel. This is a food thing, and I don't think it's disgusting. This isn't clickbait. It isn't cringe. But a guy's just basically, it's a little tiny channel, the Gourmet Bear, all one word. He's got 35 thumbs up on this video and 7 comments. So I don't feel like I'm doing him a disservice by talking about it. So He's trying to take all sorts of foods and make them into a kind of focaccia, because, like we're talking about no guts, no glory, just give something a try. So
This might be better than Welsh Rarebit.
No video.
It's day 36.
Oh, you should have video.
We see
Oh,
your
sorry, I have
face.
it muted on
There we go.
Zoom, but everybody else can see it.
7 of my
helps.
series, where I make a different flavour of focaccia every day until I run
because
out
why
of
not?
ideas. Today is St. David's Day, as he's the patron saint of Wales. Today,
People who cook
I've
at
made a
home
Welsh
with
rarebit focaccia.
latex
I added
gloves
dark
or
ale and
recycled.
mustard straight
because
into
of the
the dough,
stickiness,
so the
it's not
focaccia
because of
amplifies
anything
the
else.
rarebit flavour. Then I
When you
made
work
a
with dough a
rarebit
lot,
mix
the
with
gloves
butter,
actually help.
mustard, dark ale, black pepper, and mature cheddar. I was out of Kefki, otherwise I would have used some as well. Partway through
I
baking,
buy
I
the
topped
gross,
it
so
Yeah.
the rarebit mix and popped it back in to blistering bubble.
Oh,
This
Yeah,
Sure.
Welsh Rabbit, for people who don't know, is basically like you make like a heavy cheese sauce with English mustard and Worcestershire sauce and put it over the top of something toasted. And usually you cut it with beer instead of something like milk. So it's beer, cheddar cheese, mustard, Worcestershire sauce. It is English. It's one of the few English things that they really can brag about. It is awesome.
smelt unreal.
called
I finished
English
it with some
rabbit?
freshly cracked black pepper and some chives.
Welsh
The
rabbit.
crumbs slightly malty.
It's spelled okay. It's
I
English.
use it all the
Rarebit.
time. I never knew what it was
Welsh.
called.
It's
Welsh
spelled rarebit,
rarebit.
but it's pronounced rabbit.
Yes.
I don't know why. It's an English stupid thing.
From the ale, the top sharp
Well,
and
it's a Welsh
salty from the
thing.
cheddar, and that mustard warmth comes through at the end. It focaccifies perfectly. Because the bread's built to echo the topping, it takes it to another level. And the
It
olive
focaccifies perfectly. That is a great sentence. So, I mean, he's basically making focaccia, but he's just putting cheddar cheese and mustard and chives and all that stuff. And look at the toasty top on that thing.
Yeah.
And this is like just a tiny, tiny little channel. Everybody wants to be seen on YouTube. That's the whole thing. It's like YouTube, small content creators. I mean, for a guy with almost no audience, this is actually a pretty decent video. You can see what he's doing. It's fine. His only real mistake here is that his the music that he's doing over the background is way louder than it should be.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
What?
Tiramisu focaccia.
Yeah,
I had to go give him a follow because this is great content.
this
but
is great content. And he's just a tiny little creator. I mean, in the big scheme of things, probably bigger
that's
than
why
us.
I gave
but
him a follow.
yeah,
This is
this is great
oil
stuff.
actually carries the ale flavour all the way throughout. It's basic
Look at that. Oh, I want that right now, and I'm not even hungry.
serve that with a little bit of bacon.
Yeah. Good stuff. Anyway, sorry, that's a food thing. See, I don't only show you things to make you angry.
No.
Yeah. Man,
You've
English,
shown me Adam Chef Libby and is it Adam? The deadpan oh yeah, we're gonna
I also showed you Meryl Howard Kalin at one point, which was the Make-A-Wish show. That was still feel guilty about that.
Yeah,
he was having a good time, but he was just raw chicken everywhere. Oh my god. All right.
You know, I filed that away in the Harryisms to be ignored, and now you just brought it back up, and I'm feeling a little emotional right now.
You know, he did other ones, which I haven't shown you. It wasn't just the one episode. He did several other ones. Just saying. All right, so let's go back to SkepTok. Mr. Talk, would you please greet the chat?
In the chat, even as we speak, pulling that up. See, and first one in tonight was Jay Blizza, number one, and tall person 1101 came in soon after that. Green Badger is here. Brad Cord is here. Let's see. That's the bunch. That's everyone here. Thanks for coming in, guys. We do the show for ourselves and for you, and like to have you be a part of the show through your comments. Thanks for coming out and joining us tonight.
Well, I still occasionally marvel at the fact that if you were going to say, hey, we need to pick somebody to try to entertain and educate a little bit for 2 hours every Saturday night, I don't think I would be the person that would normally be picked. It's actually hard for me to be entertaining for 2 hours a week. I think it would be really hard to do this show every single day or 5 days a week. I don't know how anybody could produce a show like that without staff. I mean, Monkey does shows, what, two times a day?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's amazing to me. I mean, that's why he's a pro.
Monkey's content is brilliant because his distinctive competency is his personality. He simply generates content by having interesting takes on things.
Yeah, and having Jack on makes it easier too.
And having somebody like Jack as a foil is just like perfect for him. Sets him up perfectly.
You know who I've been listening to a lot more lately is Bearing and Sugar Tits.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're familiar with them probably.
Sugar Tits and I have followed each other for 5 years.
Yeah,
we're old friends. We know who she actually knows who I am.
Bearing is like Australia. Bearing and Sugar Tits are Australian in the best possible way.
Yes.
I mean,
it's the only, I mean, it might be AI, but it's the only telltale sign to me that Australia actually exists. And some of them are worth saving.
Well, we do have Terry. we have a few minions.
Right.
We have a few minions from Australia, from the Upside Down land. But
he's a Kiwi.
Oh, is he? Oh, I did that thing. They love it when you do that. They love it when you do that, don't they?
Who's a Kiwi?
When people,
I'm making fun of Terry Diamantis.
Well, yeah, because if you want to annoy, get those people wound up, just say they're from the other place.
Yeah, it's like an Englishman and a Welshman. You never call a Welshman English. You never call an Englishman Welsh. Like, you ever see Drunken Uncle get called a Welsh pineapple? He fucking loses his shit.
Drunken Uncle cracks me up. He really does.
He's so good.
You always want to call people in Scotland. You always want to call them English.
Yeah.
They like that. They consider that to be, that's a nice thing. It's a way to compliment a Scotsman. Be sure and do that.
Well, yeah. I think I told you I'm culturally English.
Yeah.
And
culturally.
Well, I mean, because those are just sort of the customs that my family grew up with. Those are the customs that we most closely follow. I didn't say genetically. I didn't say politically.
Green and bad food.
Well,
yeah, like I'm culturally Jewish. I'm not.
I mean, a lot of the stuff, the vegetables were not good. The vegetables, growing up, the vegetables were not good at all.
I feel this. I was culturally English too.
But man, my grandmother could make a prime rib with a Yorkshire pudding. Like, I mean, she could just whip that up so good. And I would have stuff.
Proper Yorkshire pudding is a thing of beauty.
And I would have things like Welsh rabbit sometimes, but more often than not, you just get something like some people call it like soldier's an egg with the little strips of toast and the soft boiled eggs. And there's a lot of soft boiled eggs, and a lot of the food is just not good. But man, the stuff that is good in English cooking is really good.
My mother taught us how to poach eggs. Shit you not. When we were growing up, that was a life skill my mother thought was important.
I mean, it's not like all German food is great. Some of it's really good. A lot of it's really not.
A lot of it is really boring.
Yeah. The French and the Italians, they've got it going on. That's the place to grow up when you want to eat something. Though I digress.
I have this girlish figure for a reason.
So let's see. You're culturally Italian, so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so what were we doing? We were going to have a show, I think.
Things had happened. We were going to discuss them.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Sora's going to show up. There's a few things I want to maybe put off until she gets here. But we can talk about this. Remember, I asked the question, well, what has happened with the supposed drone aircraft carrier? Mm-hmm. And we all knew what happened to it. We all knew that it's going to be at the bottom of the ocean. But here's that channel that I like.
It was no secret to any armchair general or admiral
that
the Iranian Navy drone aircraft carrier was going to be one of the priority targets on the first day. And it was.
Big bada
Central
boom.
Command released this video of that drone carrier being attacked amidship. Looks like a 2,000-pound bomb, and at the stern, sending this aircraft carrier to Davy Jones' locker.
Guarantee you those were 2,000-pound GB. Those were two of those.
We're turning a lot of the Iranian Navy into submarines.
Yeah, all of it.
Involuntary
Basically.
submarine conversion.
No, we're just building
there-
homes for fish.
There
Yeah.
was one ship that we allowed to steam into port
Mhm.
under the agreement that it's not going to steam out until the war is over, until we say it's okay.
Yeah, I don't get it, Skip, how anyone looks at this and goes, this is a new war. It's like, this motherfucker, this has been going on for almost 50 years now.
You know, it's debatable
war
whether World
never
War
ended.
II, whether World War II was a real war, or if it was just that the ceasefire between World War I and World War II wore off.
Yeah.
You can make a pretty good, because a lot of times when you say, "Oh, it's a new war," yeah, you're absolutely right. Things are not that cut and dry necessarily. We've been in a constant state of aggression with these nitwits, and
Gets hot at times.
it gets hot at
We
time,
call
and a
that-
lot of
we
stuff
call
is going
that
on
the
through
war.
proxies. How many Somali
Exactly.
pirates have we blown up at this point?
Right.
We've blown them up on the land and the sea, and their little drones and all that sort of stuff. I mean, we just keep, yeah.
Yeah.
And Hezbollah, I mean, this stuff counts. So you're right, Functional. We've never not been at war with them since pretty much the time they took our embassy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So that was a thing, and then let's see, where is this other thing? Sorry, I'm missing one of my articles. I'll find it here.
Get to be my age.
Okay, here we are.
More of your article.
$4.2 million U.S. torpedo detonates under Iranian warship in historic No Mercy strike. So I think this is the one that was in off the coast of Sri Lanka.
About 44 miles out of.
Not what you would call the engagement zone, but we just decided, well, here's an Iranian ship. We don't like
Fuck
the
you.
Iranians, so yeah. So I hope you can hold your breath for a while, because they use this Mark 48 torpedo, and I guess the way this thing is supposed to work, it's a 650-pound warhead. It goes underneath the ship and then blows up underneath it, which just creates this huge pressure wave and cavitation and all this stuff, and just destroys the structural integrity of the hull above it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's go in and break the keel.
I mean, I didn't really expect to be hearing a lot about torpedoes, but it seems like they've sunk several things with torpedoes this time around.
Oh yeah, torpedoes have come a long, long way, and the Mark 48 is a really good platform.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different kits you can use before.
Well, we mentioned the Japanese, because of course they have to have a strong defensive posture against the Chinese. They've got some pretty rockin' torpedo technology too. I think I mentioned one of them. Yeah, and railguns. Yeah, it's a fun time to be alive. Not such a fun time to be in the enemy military, though.
But the problem with railguns is they destroy the ships.
No, the Japanese made successful firing railgun emplacements.
No, well, I'm sorry. What I meant was a challenge.
Yes. I see what you're saying.
For not being precise.
Yeah.
No, you were. My brain was off on the other side of things.
Well, we've been enjoying some absolutely terrible gasoline prices because of all this. Not a huge surprise that with all this going on in the Straits and the fact that oil supplies are just not moving the way they normally would, that gas prices would go up. And they're up about 60 cents a gallon from last week for just about every grade in the United States, from what I can determine, both the national average and here in California. 60 cents in a week. That's quite the gradient.
Get ready. Get ready. $120 oil. It's on the way.
Yeah.
This will happen. And one of the things that's going to happen is China is going to be complete bitches about all this, because they are going to have to be buying more expensive oil. This is really going to put some pressure on a lot of fundamental cost inputs into China's industrial plant, basically, of its entire country. It's going to affect every part of China.
Well,
They're gonna build nuclear. They'll start building nuclear plants, guaranteed.
Well, they've already started.
They've started. They're
even pretty
they're
active
threatening
in
to
their
ramp up, and
fusion.
They're going to do that.
They're even doing a lot of fusion research.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
So that's more the
5 years
that's
away.
the I was just say that's the well, I know that's the joke, but that's the 20 to 30 year plan. You can't have an Epstein drive until we figure this stuff out. So I love the Chinese propaganda. So I just to sort of lighten the mood, here's an article from IndiaDefenseReview.com. Chinese 6G surface could turn enemy radar beams into power for stealth aircraft. So what they're going to do, Skep, is they're going to absorb those radar beams equals profit.
Yeah.
And then everybody
Step
clapped.
Step two is what?
Yeah, it's like, no. We're talking
First
about
we gather the underwear. Right?
We're talking
I
about
got
like
that. And then step three is
milliwatts,
profit.
not even milliwatts, probably how many watts is it actually hitting it with? I could calculate it, but it's
less
not
than-
much.
It's less than a milliwatt.
It's not enough to light the tiniest little LED. You know,
Correct.
there's
Absolutely right.
there's not enough over the whole surface of that thing. You're not going to accomplish anything
There
unless
are
you're
not
parking
enough joules of energy.
unless you're parking the airplane directly in front of the transmitter, in which case you could probably light up a like a LED birthday candle with that.
Inverse square is not just a good idea; it's the law.
What about,
Yeah.
hear me out,
It's just too far away.
solar freaking tarmac?
Oh, hey, that's a good idea. Why don't they just put solar panels all over the top of the airplane and then use that to power it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Put 'em
Or a
on
hamster
top
in the
where
wheel.
the sun is.
And if there aren't enough solar panels, they could do a thing kind of like those people who do the aerial advertisements where they tow the banners behind airplanes. Just tow a roll of solar panels behind you. And then you could write messages on them and stuff. It'd be really cool.
You could have a sail and put a fan on the boat and have the fan blow the sail and push the boat.
But I do have a comment about this article. It's here. Come on, load. Load.
He's really good looking, and he thinks I'm super cool. Sure, Jan.
Sure.
Yeah. When I read the article, I immediately thought of
love
that
it.
scene.
That is a fuck you look right there.
Sure, Jan. Sure. Okay.
Jan hates you.
You know, we've talked about the C-130 before,
Yes.
and I want to talk about the C-130 again because it's actually cooler than you think. And I didn't even really realize how cool it was until I saw this thing here. Let me show you this video here. This is from the Mentor Now channel, MENTOUR Now ! Everything is loading slowly today. I don't know why. But this is actually a channel by pilots for
Can one
pilots.
aircraft?
And it is a really good channel about aviation. I don't know if you've seen this one before, but they have a 24-minute video talking about what makes the C-130 freaking awesome. And it has a whole bunch of stuff about the design history of it, you know, how it came to be the way it was. And it's a specific size because essentially they designed the airplane around the size of things that they wanted to carry. And it's become such a de facto standard that almost everything is basically unitized and palletized to fit on a C-130. It's the workhorse that gets all this shit done. It's an amazing aircraft, but what makes it really nice is it's so incredibly durable. Now, where the wings connect to the body on most airplanes, it's called the wing box. It's a huge structural element that everything's basically pushed off of. When you look at a traditional airplane, like, you know, like a 737, the wings are down low. The wing box basically is where the wings connect to, and then the fuselage, everything else basically connects to the wing box. It's the one piece of the plane that you can't really do much with, except on this plane, you can actually replace the wing box. And it's been designed to do like 130,000 hours. I mean, it's just some insane number of hours that you can fly because they've improved this thing over time. So this airplane is practically immortal because you can take the part that usually breaks and wears out
like
and
take
just
a bolt.
replace it. You could just replace it.
That's what I was going to tell you. Was the thing is an erector set. It's about as hard to take apart as something built as it with an erector set. It's very modular, and it's the other thing is that it was specifically designed to be easy to maintain. Easy to maintain in the field in a forward operating environment.
Yeah. And Kelly, the guy designed the SR-71 and a bunch of other stuff, did not like this airplane initially. He thought this was not the plane that he wanted to make. But even later, and not much later, he said, okay, yeah, this is actually pretty good. This is actually a pretty great airplane. I love it because it's just really a no frills engineering thing. It's like, take the specifications, build airplane. And that's the way engineering should be done. There's no getting up your own ass. There's no huffing your own farts. It's just, we're going to build an airplane for a very specific purpose. And they built a hell of a great airplane. And that's why it's still in service. It's going to be in service probably forever because they keep trying to find ways to replace it with something better. And they just don't have anything. They don't have anything that can compete with this thing for what it does. A medium-sized heavy transport that is survivable, easy to maintain, can take off from short runways. These things have just been beaten up, and they'll take abuse that a normal airplane just cannot cope with and still keep flying. It's just an impressive aircraft.
It could take off with 2 engines. You have to offload it, but it could take off with 2 engines.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an amazing aircraft. And that's the one we stuck that big-ass gun in. Remember, didn't we put a few cannons in it and just keep shooting at the left side?
The AC-130 is a formidable thing. Yeah. When you see one of those, that's probably the last thing you're going to see. If they're after you, you're dead.
Yeah.
There's no escaping it. Those gunships are just absolutely devastating on the battle.
I mean, I know it's not the F-47 or anything super sexy, but honestly, if you admire performance and you think performance is sexy, check out this video on Mentor Now on the C-130. It's 24 minutes of your life that will be well spent. I recommend it highly because it's a really interesting video. So let's see, C-130. Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of transport airplanes, here's a little exchange with a Southwest pilot and the tower when they're looking at the NASA transport thing, the Super Guppy. This is pretty funny.
302.
Southwest 302, ground.
What do they do with that big, ugly thing, airplane?
Southwest 302, that's the NASA Super Guppy. It's the only one that flies, but they transfer T-35 and satellite parts.
What? Say again?
They transfer T-35 and satellite parts. Correction, T-38. T-38 and satellite parts.
Satellite parts and T-38s?
Affirmative. Apparently, if you fold up the wings for T-38s, you fit 2 of them in there.
Couldn't they just fly them somewhere?
You could.
But look at this thing. This thing is absolutely terrible, this Super Guppy. Why don't they just put their shit on a C-130 like a normal human being? Why does NASA even need this thing?
Well,
what can it do that a C-130 can't do?
You know the answer to that too.
I do, and it annoys me.
I know.
I mean,
the NASA culture is that the astronauts are going to have their toys. Toys are the T1 or the T-38s, trainers they teach.
But you can put T-38s in the back of a C-130 if you fold the wings up; it'll fit. You don't need this thing, this beluga whale with propellers on it. You don't need this.
Not T-38s for astronauts, Harry. T-38s for astronauts have to come in an AstroTurf.
Yeah, I know. We're not gonna. Okay, this is fine. But man, I love all the Chinese bullshit. All the Chinese bullshit NASA. News. It is.
This is so very NASA.
Just use a C-130.
Yeah.
Oh, well, while I've got your attention about government stuff, NBC, man, do they have a hate boner for the Trump administration? Mm-hmm. So here's a headline. Let's just unpack this. Nome handpicked contractors to lead a $100 million ICE recruitment campaign, sources say. So what NBC News is trying to imply is that somebody who's in charge of a major government department can't just decide how the selection is going to work on a government contract. It has to go through a particular competitive bidding process. Now, that might be the norm, but there are an awful lot of loopholes where somebody like her can short circuit those things to bring people in.
Yep.
This is an extremely misleading headline to me. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah. When I was bidding on government contracts, one of the things that I did was, as soon as I could get my name put on a sole source list so that I would be the only one they would go out to for bids. That's one of the key things that you learn in doing business with the government. When I first started doing work for the Army Corps of Engineers, that was the first thing I found out is I got to get rid of my competitors. And I found out how to do that. Get on a list saying you're the only vendor who can provide this.
Well, sometimes there's a timeliness and you have to move faster, and other times, if it effectively, there's only one or two firms that can actually do the work. Like, for instance, if you know Halliburton is the only firm that can do the work, or KBR is the only firm that can do a particular job, you don't have to go through the kabuki theater of spending months and months writing RFPs and just going back and forth. You just don't have to do all that stuff. I mean, the Trump administration would be over by the time they picked a agency if they didn't do what she did. It would be months of back and forth before they got anything done at all.
Oh, they wouldn't even have the first round of lawsuits over with by the
Yeah, as long as she's not getting kickbacks and there's no hanky-panky going on,
let her do her job.
Let her do her damn job, which she doesn't do anymore because she's been replaced.
Been fired.
Yeah. I think she just became too much of a political liability.
Well, she's a nutbag. I don't think there's any doubt about she is a very immature manager. Everything that I've been able to discern about her, that's working within her organization is not a very pleasant situation.
Okay, so you've got to pick one of these two people for the space arc. The Earth is being destroyed. We got seats on the space arc. You have to pick either. Now, adjusting for age, okay, like the same age, you have to pick either 50-year-old, I can see Alaska from my house, Sarah Palin, or 50-year-old Kristi Noem. Which one would you pick? Who's the more valuable asset?
Sarah Palin, because she's morally a little bit more together than Kristi. Kristi Noem's been having an affair for how many years with Corey Lewandowski?
I have no idea about any of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Allegedly. Let's just throw an allegedly in there for good measure.
Well, they don't even do that. Anyway.
So you're saying it's an open secret, basically?
An open secret.
Okay.
They've been an item.
Oh,
for a
well, that's
long time.
unsavory.
Yeah. And she's just disgusting. And Sarah Palin might be naive and a bit of a midwit, but she's at least a fundamentally human being. She's a nutbag too, but I think there's less malice in her than Kristi Noem.
Yeah.
Space Arc.
Functional, did you ever see Iron Sky?
I believe so.
The one with the moon Nazis?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought one thing about Sarah Palin is she's awfully easy to parody. But I mean, she played a vital role in both Iron Sky 1 and 2. I think they made her president, didn't they? Yeah, it's good. I have to say, the first time I saw that movie, I was pretty taken with it. That was good fun. That was good fun. Those kinds of movies are okay. That one Kung Fury, sort of the fake martial arts movie, that with the Tyrannosauruses and the time travel, that was pretty good.
Why did you say it's fake?
Yeah, I think they did a crowdfunding thing to put that together. I gave them a few shekels to make Kung Fury happen.
Good man.
They made a second.
I didn't see the second one, should I?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't particularly remember it like as a separate thing. It kind of just blends all together, but
well, NBC News and the hate boner. So, White House addresses redness on the side of Trump's neck. Okay, he's like old. He's got some redness on the side of his neck. Okay. How much time did we spend pretending that Hillary Clinton wasn't falling over constantly and obviously ill until she finally just passed out on the steps of something during the campaign?
Or that Joe Biden
was still
Even
mentally
in the room.
competent.
Yeah.
He's as sharp as ever. But you know, this guy gets some red on the
Hard to
side of his
keep up
neck,
with
and
him.
suddenly it's major news. The double standard is pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm just beating a dead horse at this point, but I really just can't deal with NBC News. I just can't. They're just so clearly biased. NBC and CBS together are probably the worst. And then ABC. It's why there's not much left that's relatively unbiased. USA
Not
Today
really.
tries, at least. And every now and then CNN manages to be somewhat unbiased. Who's that Republican that they have on CNN who's actually decent?
Scott Jennings.
Just Scott Jennings. No, not Jennings. Is it Jennings?
No, I don't think he's the.
Isn't it?
I forget his name, but they
Scott
have
Jennings. He's usually the one who gets all those clips that like him taking down some stupid
I just-
Democrat.
Yeah, he's their
remember.
token Republican, and he does a really good job. He's way more effective than Jessica Tarloff is on Fox News, that's for sure. Oh, well. Good job. All right, moving on. Click. Let's see. What do we want to talk about next? Well, let's talk a little bit of... Let's make fun of Gavin Newsom, can we? I mean, I have him listed under California, but I have a feeling he's not really a California problem anymore. I think he's everybody's problem now, or soon will be. So he may move out into the U.S. politics thing. But somebody on the Twitter put together a great compilation of Gavin Newsom trying to solve a problem for 10 years and accomplishing nothing. Here, let me just share this with you. This is Kevin Dalton.
In your plan to end chronic homelessness in
2008.
San Francisco.
How are you going to solve homelessness? What are you going to do as a new mayor? And I said, well, what are you going to do?
2010.
Housing first model, direct access to housing.
Shelter, solve sleep,
2015.
housing with wraparound and support services, solve homelessness. Homelessness absolutely can be solved.
2016,
Laid out a detailed
18.
homeless strategy. There's been no intentionality on homelessness in this state for decades. It's not been a focus.
I don't think we can solve homelessness. I know we can solve homelessness.
2019.
We will reduce street homelessness quickly and humanely through emergency
Bitch
action.
having a
The
record.
highest investment the state's ever made is $1 billion on homelessness. We are poised to pass a budget in the next few hours that will provide $12 billion.
Yeah, don't audit that because that'll just make you sad. Oh, wait, we can't audit that because the money's just gone.
Of investment.
I can literally quantify 58,000 people that we got off the streets last year. And none of you would believe it.
This state has not made progress in the last 2 decades as it relates to homelessness. Why?
We're not interested in funding failure. We're not interested in failing more efficiently when it comes to the issue of homelessness and the crisis on the street.
I want to punch him in the face.
I mean-
again and again and again.
How short does your attention span have to be that you even need a compilation like this? He's been spending most of his career after he stopped being mayor of San Francisco doing nothing but talking about how he's going to solve homelessness for real this time each year.
Californians don't care about the homelessness problem. They just want their lives to be comfortable, and as long as they basically don't change, and they don't change for most people, they'll vote for somebody like Newsom who says comforting, soothing things over and over. See no reason to change their vote.
The next governor is almost certainly going to be worse. I'm not thinking that it's going to be one of the two Republicans that are going to win. That's going to turn around at some point because we couldn't possibly be that lucky. Yeah.
The thing about a Republican winning in California, they would have to deal with the legislature so hostile to them that it's very hard to do.
Yeah. I don't know.
Even though California is relatively strong governor. I said that as a Texan, we have the weakest, maybe one of the weakest governorships in the country.
Well, speaking of California, utterly unaffordable study reveals how Deep Blue City's minimum wage law is ravaging key industry. So Karen Bass, the socialist nitwit mayor of Los Angeles, pushed for a $30 an hour hospitality worker minimum wage. And this is causing some problems. A phased-in minimum wage hike in Los Angeles that will mandate up to $30 per hour for hotel workers, signed into law by Mayor Karen Bass, is already causing problems for the hotel industry and putting the squeeze on the working-class demographic that minimum wage laws are purportedly intended to help. The bottom line is the city of Los Angeles have forced a wage and benefits package on hotels that is utterly unaffordable at a time when Californians and Americans are laser-focused on affordability. That's recently commissioned a study that found hotels have eliminated or expect to eliminate 6% of positions, roughly 650 jobs, since the hotel worker minimum wage ordinance took effect in September 2025.
This is the mayor joining an industry and saying, you can't manage your affairs well enough, so I'm going to help manage your affairs for you. I'm going to reduce the size of your industry by 6%. You may thank me.
Well, they're always increasing hotel taxes. They're putting in larger and larger fees to fly into the airports.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you're basically confronted with, okay, we're going to hold a convention. We're going to have thousands of people or, maybe hundreds of people from a business, different places around the world come to a city. Why would you pick Los Angeles? If it's substantially more expensive to have people come there? Or why would you pick Seattle, given what's been going on there? Or why would you pick Portland or San Francisco? Because it's at a certain point, it just becomes ridiculously unaffordable for people to do that. You want to minimize the flying time, and maybe you're still going to do it. Like Mark Benioff, Salesforce, Dreamforce, I guess the Salesforce.com yearly conference will probably be held in San Francisco forever, no matter what happens. But for a lot of other people, that Las Vegas is just happy to take that business away. I mean, there are costs to this. You make things too unaffordable, and people just stop going there.
Right now, Las Vegas is hurting for certain. The strips business is down. They would be happy to have a boost in convention. That's what they need. That's what Las Vegas needs.
This is great for Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not anywhere near enough, but
hey, every little bit helps. I'm sure they're just rubbing their little hands together, being just very excited. And no, that wasn't a stereotype reference. I just realized it's like somebody might think I did something I wasn't supposed to do there. No. Well, this will be fun. Here we go.
For decades, Planned Parenthood has been synonymous with reproductive rights. But for some Northern California clinics, aesthetics is getting added to the brand.
We really see this as adapting to the world we're living in and responding to our clients as they move with us throughout their lives.
Planned Parenthood Marmonte is testing new revenue streams through offerings like Botox and IV hydration at select clinics.
Yeah, so Planned Parenthood not getting the money they used to get, so they're going to start offering other services like shooting poison into your face or giving you IVs after you've bachelorette partied too hard and you feel like crap the next day and you don't want to look terrible for the wedding pictures. So you go get IV hydration.
IV hydration. I see stuff like that. It just makes me, that's a medical.
A lot of rich people do this, by the way.
And it's, anytime you introduce a central line into a blood vessel, you introduce the possibility of bacterial infection, of contamination, of any number of nasty things you don't want inside your body. You can damage the vein, you can have phlebitis, you burn that vein, physically damage it with a needle. I mean, why would you do this?
People do it because they can party hard. So a lot of comedians with money, I hear them talk about it. So, Mark Normand and Of course, Bert Kreischer and who's that other guy? Fat Segura. Tom Segura. Yeah, who's not fat anymore. Tom Segura. A lot of these guys will talk about going out and being excessive and then sort of hitting the reset button by having somebody come and give them an IV and hit them with the banana bag like they're just getting chemo. Just dump them up on all sorts of B vitamins and everything and hydration, and then they're right as rain to go again.
Yeah, except that's hard on.
Except there's still formaldehyde in your large intestine and all this other stuff you have to deal with.
There's formaldehyde in the cells in the brain.
The hydration helps quite a bit, though. But it's the Botox that I thought was weird. I'm almost afraid to ask this, but when they do like labiaplasties and stuff, do they use Botox for that as well? Are there people shooting Botox into their lady parts to make them more aesthetically pleasing?
Guaranteed.
That would seem to have the opposite effect. That being a relaxation kind of a thing. I don't know, maybe.
That's not a very inappropriate thought. Somebody's thinking, hey, is it my imagination, or does that vagina always look surprised?
Oh my!
Sorry.
Interesting stream.
So, all right. Well, anyway, this is where we are now. Everything sucks. Everything is terrible. Oh, and this happened. Britney Spears arrested in California after a late night incident.
Well, that was a surprise.
Does she not have enough money to pay somebody to drive for her? Why would she have a DUI?
Yeah.
Shouldn't she just have like staff or people who just take care of this? Why would she have to get all liquored up and go driving around like a drunk 40-something Britney Spears?
Didn't she have some major financial setback?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably her ability to generate income is probably not what it used to be. She'd look pretty stupid with the mouse ears on.
I'll tell you right now, the looks don't come back.
Can you get a little closer to the mic, Skep?
The looks just don't come back.
Well, she doesn't have the character. She can't transition to, hi, I'm a really interesting person. So she's just like, this is where she is.
Yeah, she went, I'm a bimbo, and that's what you get. And old bimbos aren't very interesting.
Well, I like the way Drew Barrymore's aging a lot better than the way Britney Spears is aging.
Drew Barrymore, a lot smarter than Spears.
Yeah, she is a lot smarter, which is obviously true. Oh, functional.
Yeah.
I know you hate talking about this new Star Trek thing. You really hate
Star
it.
Trek thing?
All the Kurtzman Trek stuff. It is pretty terrible. They're trying to, we both know that this thing is like a complete train wreck, but they're trying to paint some picture. They're saying that even though they haven't been in the Nielsen top 10 for streaming, everything's actually really okay. They're polishing this turd as much as they can by saying it's number one on the Amazon channels list, and it's doing really well in the UK and Germany. And they're talking about this stuff, and I'm just thinking, well, I don't trust these people when it comes to ratings. Maybe it's number.
They lie about everything.
But in which demo? Which demo are we talking about? The whole demo, or just sad, angry people with colored hair and nose rings between the ages of 18 and 35? Who? Unless you tell me which demo we're talking about, how does these numbers don't even mean anything? It's just crazy. I mean, do you
have functional? Have you watched this?
No.
Well, I got like 15 minutes in and I turned it off because it was
I tried.
awful.
It was absolutely just terrible. It just
unwatchable dog shit.
Yeah, I saw part of one trailer, and I just said, I don't have enough years left to devote any more of my time to that. Goodbye.
I'd almost rather watch that Section 39 thing than
no,
this.
no.
At least that would
it's
be
actually
funny.
worse than this.
Okay.
It was so fucking bad. But take solace in knowing the next season of Orville should be wrapping up by wrapping up by the end of the year and make its way out. And Joe Malazzi and team are rebooting Stargate. They're making a new Stargate. I mean, they're not discounting the old Stargate. They're just making a new Stargate show.
I'm totally in favor of it.
I'm all in, because Joe Malazzi and his team, they're the ones who made it in the first place. And this is a new passion project for them. They see that the market's wide open for people to consume this stuff. So make it good.
So I want to share with you a plot point from the Starfleet Academy thing. For most of Star Trek, humanity's first alien friends and their greatest enemies were technically the same people. Humanity made first contact in 2063 with the logical, pointy-eared Vulcans, but not all ancient Vulcans had followed the teachings of logical philosophers Serac, those who march beneath, blah, blah, blah. So basically they went off and became the Romulans. And there was a reunification that took place in Kurtzman Trek. So apparently by the time the 32nd century rolls around, the low point when Romulus was destroyed in the late 21st century, that strengthened the case for reunification of the 32nd century when Starfleet Academy takes place. The Romulans and Vulcans live together on their native world. It has been renamed Navar, N-I-apostrophe-V-A-R, meaning two form. They renamed Vulcan. You have a franchise, there are like certain things that are fixed points in lore.
Right.
What kind of moron running a show that's supposedly supposed to be Star Trek would ever in a million years change the name of the planet Vulcan to anything else under any circumstances? This is the most inept bit of show writing thing I've seen in a long time. I mean, it isn't just the regular cringe
anymore.
It just doesn't make any sense. Why would you rename Vulcan to anything else? Anything, for any reason. It's
there
absolutely
are fundamental tokens in Star Trek lore.
Yeah.
That are, as you said, they are fixed points. They are they're referential. You know, everybody knows what a Vulcan.
Everybody knows what a Vulcan is.
Exactly.
Everybody knows what a Vulcan is. Nobody knows what a
Navar
is going to be. No, it's just no.
Yeah, absolutely not.
No, these people just need to. Can we just get rid of them? I know I should just stop paying attention to them. Fine. It was just dumb enough. I felt like I had to bring it up. So I do like the fan things. There's some really great fan things in the Star Wars universe, and Paramount and other things have been pretty ruthless against any fan things that were done in the Star Trek universe. But I don't know. I think I like this just because I'm just looking at this as a fan thing and trying not to just be a big hater. UC Santa Cruz to provide a taste of Star Trek opera in progress. So a bunch of nerds at University of California, Santa Cruz have decided that they're going to do an opera called based on the Trial of Spock. I guess this is good. This shows that there's like fans out there making stuff. I like this. I don't personally want to attend because I think it's probably going to be kind of terrible. But I really like fan-made stuff, functional. I think it's...
Yeah, I do a whole show every Thursday on Rumble with some people about fan and indie stuff. So you're right. There is a lot of actually good Star Wars content out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, little one-off type things, not really connected to the main Skywalker family type stuff. Star Trek, though, is a lot harder. Axanar has been in the works for 15 years now, and it's only gonna see the light of day, I think, this year because of all their battles with Paramount.
Yeah.
And they don't seem to realize this fan-made content that people make, the fans, exposes more people and does more for their brand than anything they can do. Except for making lightning in a bottle again with like DS9 or the original series or Trek or TNG or something, you know, like it's the only thing keeping people awake. You know, oh, there's a new Star Trek show coming out. Well, I guess it's going to suck, but I'll watch it anyway, you know.
Sorry, I'm responding to chat.
Okay.
So yeah, I look at chat all the time. No, Sora's with us too.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, Sora.
I was just talking about.
Only a little bit late. It's an hour late. Sorry
That's
about
okay.
that.
One of the local universities, a bunch of academics have decided to make an opera based on the trial of Spock from Star Trek, and this is going to be cringy as all hell. But you know, it doesn't matter. People I know who are PhDs, like there was a guy, a friend of mine, used to work at CERN, and they would put together operas and light operas all the time. And I'm sure it was terrible.
People have their fun,
but they have such a good time doing it. You look at the Ig Nobel prizes; they almost always have some kind of opera or little operettas in there. A lot of hardcore nerds, I mean, like real nerds, have like this frustrated artist side, and so they're always trying to put something together. Yeah, let their nerd flag fly. You want to make an opera and bring in a bunch of people and have a good time because you enjoy Star Trek?
It's going to be like Planet of the Apes, the musical.
Sure, why not?
I hate every chimp I see, from chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
Is that really a thing?
It's from the Simpsons.
Futurama?
Oh.
The Simpsons? Okay.
Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius. Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius. Oh, rock me, Dr. Zaius.
Well, supposedly,
rock me, Dr. Zaius.
This thing is supposedly based on, loosely based on, or inspired by the tragedy of, is it Orpheus and Eurydice? I can't remember if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Eurydice.
Yeah, that thing, which is an ancient myth about he was a musician, right? And his love died. He's like poisoned by like a snake bite.
Thing. Don't look back. You want your girlfriend back? Don't look back.
Yeah, he went to the nether.
He looks back and fucks it up. Like
he went to the nether world. Yeah, and all he had to do was not look back. But he got all insecure and he said, "Oh, I got to see if she's still there." And then
to be
lost
fair,
everything.
In one of the story versions, she's like, "Don't you love me anymore? Why don't you look at me?" Which is exactly what the dead would do because they're supposed to trick you.
Woman, I don't have time for this.
Little shrimp fucked it up, and yeah.
Well, they made.
God, I love the Greek stories.
I know they made sort of like as Porgy and Bess is to Black America in the 1930s. There was a thing called Black Orpheus, which was a movie based around that thing that takes place during Carnival in like Rio. And some people don't like that thing because they think it's, they don't like it because they think it's a distorted view of the way things were down there. But that whole Orpheus and Eurydice story has really spawned an awful lot of art. I mean, a lot of art. That story's got some serious legs to it for something as obscure as it is. But who doesn't like a good tale of longing and loss and then loss all over again? Yeah, it's pretty good. Watch this guy just sort of own goal. Okay, we're not going to show that because we're just going to get copy struck. Hey, do you want to see a fish? I think I may have shown this one before. I apologize if this is a repeat. Fish with human teeth caught in North Carolina. Yes. Look at that thing. The sheephead's fish. It's got like human teeth in it. So is it cute? Is it cute?
Not this one, no.
No, okay. So even you're not going to defend this particular fish.
No, this one I'm not going to defend. He can defend himself.
Yeah.
This is a grown-ass man. He doesn't need defending.
Yeah, I have kissed stingrays, but I would not kiss that fish.
He's got better teeth than some of the English, though. He'd be like, "Oi, get me my fish and chips and my Welsh rabbit."
Breath. Also, he's got the geographic tongue thing going.
So. Yeah. That is a pretty terrible looking fish. That thing needs to just, no. If I caught that thing, I would probably I would throw it back. Violently.
The thing is, cut the head off and all fish sort of turn into the same sort of thing.
Yeah, that's true. Let me see.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Fish is back on the menu. Looks like tofu's back on the menu, boys. That'd be a fun.
So there's another channel which I think I've recommended to you guys before. It's a guy who covers a lot of things about nuclear energy. Does this guy look familiar to you?
Everybody knows about the Moab bomb.
Oh,
that
yes.
was dropped in 2017. It is the largest non-nuclear bomb ever dropped.
So he's basically just looking at this. This guy looks like he's an MMA fighter or something. I don't know what this guy's doing, but almost every single thing he says is wrong.
In combat, period. It is equivalent to 11 kilotons.
Oh my no. You're off by a factor of 1,000
No,
there.
it's not.
11 tons of TNT. So big for a conventional bomb, but nowhere close to the bomb used on Hiroshima.
It's very big. That bomb weighs approximately 180,000 pounds.
You're closer. More like 20,000 pounds.
And the only known method of delivery is to literally push it out the back of a C-130 cargo plane.
Sort of like back in the days of experimental breeder reactor 1, where you had a manual scram. It was called Safety Control Rod X-Man.
The smallest nuclear weapon that America has ever had in use was the Davy Crockett weapon system.
Oh, this bit of Cold War insanity. Wasn't in use for long.
It was a 76-pound projectile. It was nuclear, and it had a kiloton rating of 15 kilotons.
No.
It is just astonishing the number of times that guy is wrong about every single important fact.
Wrong about this.
Other than the fact that he got the name of the Davy Crockett thing correct, I don't think he was actually right about anything that whole time.
Yeah.
But this T. Folson nuclear channel, he actually produces really good content. I mean, in terms of just sort of fact checking other stuff, I actually really like that channel. He does a great job. He's got a lot of good.
I haven't.
It's a good channel. I mean, if you care about, so he did one on. Let me see. Where he was talking about why small modular nuclear is really more of a niche thing and not something that that's going to solve all of our problems. And he really gets into he's got great content. I mean, who doesn't care about small modular thorium reactors and stuff? This is just a really good channel.
I care about that a lot, actually.
This is a really good channel.
Yeah. Thanks, Harry.
But he did one on modular nukes that I thought was pretty good. Here's one for you, antimatter spacecraft. Sure, why not? No. Also good channel. Anyway, I won't get into that too much further. Just go watch that when you're not watching us. Okay. Oh yeah, here's a comedy thing along those lines.
Oh my god, I did it! I just discovered a new element! Bro, do you know what you just did? Think of all the possible uses for that. It's 1,000 times more powerful than nuclear energy and completely safe and stable. What are you gonna... You're gonna use it to boil water.
I'm gonna use it to boil water, spin a turbine. Yeah.
Oh.
Every engineer in the world loves that.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Oh, let's see.
I love his stuff. He's good.
Yeah, he does a good job. Okay, serious topic. Yes. And it's serious because it's seriously really wicked retarded. It is. I don't really know how this is going to play out because this is a perfect example of the government not knowing what the hell they're doing. And I put in the thumbnail about basically digital neo-Puritans. Bear with me.
Oh boy.
Okay, California introduces age verification law for all operating systems, including Linux and SteamOS, user age verified during OS account setup. This thing has already been signed into law. It starts next year, and when Gavin Newsom signed it, he said, this is busted, or cooked, or whatever he said, trying to appeal to the kids, and you need to fix this before it goes into effect. But then he signed it anyway. This thing was passed, I think, unanimously in both houses. They want computers to have some sort of mechanism where there's an API that applications can call to see if the person using the computer is some age, used for age verification.
So what we're saying here, doing this little enterprise, the state has an interest that can be pressed against the other interest to do this? Why? What is the state's compelling interest to do this?
The state's compelling interest is, won't somebody think of the children? That's the state's compelling interest. So
no.
I understand. but they're claiming that that's what it's about. And they have a whole fine structure for knowingly violating this, unknowingly violating this. And there's all these distributions of operating systems that are not Mac and Windows, where things like ID control are not baked into this sort of thing. You know, you get a Linux system, you get source code, you can just change things and recompile it. If you have root access on a Linux system, it's basically automatically jailbroken. They all just come jailbroken, like a jailbroken phone.
That's very true. That's the
right?
nature of open source.
There's nothing that you can do, and why the operating system is somehow supposed to supply this as part of an API makes no sense to me at all.
No, what it may do is it may say in California it's illegal to use that as an operating system because the operating system has to be closed to the user so the user cannot change it so that the requirement can be circumvented.
Okay, wrap your head around what I'm about to say. All of this AI stuff, all of it, all of the supercomputers, the national laboratories, they're all running Linux. 100%. All of this stuff is running Linux. And if the Linux distro that they're running doesn't support this, technically, come January 1st, they're going to have to just find something else to run as an operating system on these computers.
It's going to be a huge job. Are you going to bet on it?
It's not even. It's not a huge job. It's a complete catastrophe, because a lot of these things use very esoteric drivers. Suppose the thing that you're using that has like the RDMA drivers for being able to create a unified memory image across systems in a cluster. Suppose that driver doesn't exist on whatever sellout Linux you decide to run. It could be a real problem. I mean, this has like serious implications. And they absolutely need to fix this. And I can't say that I'm confident that they're going to do it.
Here's what will happen. Here's what will happen. If this is a huge pain. Now, obviously, it's going to get ignored. One way or the other, this law will be circumvented because economically, this law can't exist. It is against the economic laws of reality for this law to exist. It will not exist. As soon as it is tested, vaporized. Watch and see.
Just so you know,
the forces that will be brought against it will be irresistible.
Brazil has an almost identical law. And what's great about this is I was listening to discussions of people talking about this, and even people who were high up in some of the distros, basically the groups that produce these things, the companies like Canonical, had no idea that Brazil had passed a similar law. That's how unimportant Brazil is to the interests of these things. So, for instance, with the Colorado version of this law and the California one, what can they do to go after these companies? Well, in Colorado, I think FreeBSD might have offices in Colorado, and there's a whole bunch of these companies. IBM and Red Hat. You bought Red Hat and a bunch of other companies that exist in California. We're talking about enormous sums of money. It's just like liability on a scale that's hard to really wrap your head around. It's a lot of zeros that these big Linux distro manufacturers are going to be looking at. And it may come to pass that they just say, well, we're just going to say this is not for use in California. The end. This is not for use in Brazil. This is not for use in Colorado. This could be really, really terrible. And I'd like to think that it's so terrible that it's like a poison pill thing, that there's no way it's going to come to pass. But I'm not really confident that that's true.
That's what I diagnose it as you say, a poison pill. I just don't think reality won't permit this.
There is I don't want to bore people, but I've already thought of a way you could actually implement this if you really wanted to.
How would you do it?
I'd use the GCOS field in the password file. And I would just use that little bit of real estate in the password file, and then you could do the get PWAnt call for UID or by name to return it, or you could do a specialized API call for it. But having the operating system maintain the user age information is just dumb by design. This was clearly designed by a politician who didn't know a goddamn thing about how technology works.
exactly.
Yeah. But it would be relatively easy to implement. The problem is that it's only easy if you don't care about good engineering, because this is just scuffed.
A disaster.
This is just too scuffed that people are just shaking their heads going, what the hell are you people thinking? And nobody really knows what's going to happen yet.
What do you think will happen?
I don't know. I'm not. This isn't a bit to prolong the conversation to fill up time. I honestly don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. I think it's technically a really easy problem to solve, but a lot of people are going to just say, no, this is too stupid. We refuse. Yeah.
That's actually what I think will probably happen. There just will be general revolt against it.
It could happen because one of the big people involved in this has already said, no, this is stupid and we don't care. We're not going to do it. You can just sue us. We just don't care. But a number of big companies, like I said, Red Hat and Ubuntu are the big ones to look at. And Red Hat's owned by IBM. IBM knows how to hire lawyers and stuff, and they'll put the kibosh on it if they think they have exposure. You don't think IBM's going to just allow something bad to happen to them to the tune of, like $1 billion.
No, really loves its money.
Yeah, not going to happen. All right, let's see.
Sentimental kids about it.
All right, so we talked about that. So I need to go check on something. Hey, Sora.
Yes.
Do you have anything you want to share with people?
No. Oh, good.
Well, see, that doesn't work. Okay, talk amongst yourselves for a few minutes. I need to go check. I hear something going on outside, and I need to go check on it.
Here's what Harry actually wanted you to say. He wanted you to say, "Hey, oh yeah, I've got some great stuff to talk about. Boy, I have a topic for the show."
We had some interesting stuff happen in terms of, I think we had some sort of comet go by. We were supposed to be able to see a lunar eclipse, but like usual, we had 2 weeks of beautiful weather, and the night of the lunar eclipse,
yeah,
pissing rain.
Wow.
This happens every single time there's any sort of beautiful space. But it does it on purpose. It's a mockery.
Yeah, it doesn't tantalize you.
Yeah, no,
Tease you.
I feel personally attacked and targeted every single time.
You should. The universe has it out for you.
Yeah, I'm never going to see anything.
Now
cool.
you're up there in Canada, right there, out there on Prince Edward Island, and did you see the meteorite hit the guy's patio?
I am way on the other side of the country.
Oh, so you're down the street from Prince Edward Island?
I'm all the way across the country.
I know that. But out on Prince Edward Island, this guy's Ring camera caught a meteorite hitting his patio, and it's worth googling on, or it's worth checking out on YouTube. It's all over YouTube, and you see this thing come down, and it just it's like a dirt clod hitting a wall at 100 miles an hour. Just puffs into instant powder.
Cool.
But it's pretty cool.
What a lucky thing. That's the fun about like having the cameras on and
Yes, it
stuff
is.
like this. So you can catch these really cool.
You have to be a little bit of a nerd, a little bit of a reality watching nerd to like that kind of stuff. But I think stuff like that is so amazing. I love seeing things like meteorites being captured, and something magical about that. The Big Bang touching us.
Mm.
But matter interaction in the universe, where any matter interaction is really unlikely.
Well, and now we're all sad.
That's sad, just reflective. It's a funny thing being a life form here on Earth. It's not at all a common thing. Most uncommon.
Mm.
Almost nothing like it in the universe.
Well, kind of like to think that maybe there is, but there you go.
There probably is elsewhere in what we think of as the universe when we look down these light histories that we see, we call stars. And but it's not those are in places that we can't get to, can't access. It's just the physics is too brutal.
Are you solving the world's problems without me?
Well, we can't figure out how to solve space travel. We can't figure out how to get to other stars. They're just too far away, Harry.
Honestly,
what can you do about that?
I've thought about it, and I think if it's like a survival of our DNA type thing, sort of greedy genes, the only thing that really makes sense is basically to put our genetic material in probes and then send them out. And then if they find some sort of fertile world, they'd basically start the cycle all over again. We just essentially send the seeds, not the crops. But that's not quite the same thing as keeping humanity alive. That's just keeping Earth life alive somewhere else. Sorry, didn't mean to be heavy about that.
No, sorry. I was just answering someone in chat.
Okay.
But I don't know. I like to live in the fairy tale where they maybe there will be first contact from somebody else, and in a happy way, not in a we're going to turn you into a gray gloop that powers our spaceship kind of way, you know?
Yeah, you know. To serve man, it's a cookbook.
It's a cookbook. I was just about to say that.
It's a cookbook. Man, Outer Limits was a great show, the original one.
On my lips.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, a lot of things are possible. Like, for instance, if we actually figured out how to do suspended animation, that would change things quite a bit.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a hard thing, but I think we could potentially solve that. And then the whole thing of, well, it takes centuries to get there and centuries to get back becomes less important. But it might take us thousands of years to find out what happened in the round trip voyage. So why not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just that human timescale is so small that we care a lot about these things. You know, we only live for like 100 rotations of our planet around our star. So compared to geologic timescales or the timescales of space travel as we know it, our lives are just kind of fleeting and insignificant. If you solve the life extension problem, then maybe space travel becomes less of an issue.
Maybe the way you do it is send the guts of whatever the seed of life is on in probes like you're talking about, and that's how we expand humanity out. It's not by anything we extend directly. We extend out life and let it develop however it develops.
Yeah, we basically send our DNA to another planet. Right. And our RNA, and then it just grabs the materials there and starts. I mean, who's to say that's not how we came to be? And you're trying to figure out in the Star Trek universe why we have all these bipedal aliens that look vaguely human. Well, there's your answer.
It's because somebody Elon Musked it one time.
So I have this article for you, and I wasn't planning on using that as a segue, but scientists successfully transfer longevity gene, paving the way for extended human lifespan. Yeah. You tinker with people's genetics, make it so that they're predisposed to living longer. That's life extension, right?
Right.
I think a lot of life extension is going to be in the epigenetic sphere, but this certainly makes sense. If we have the ability to do something like that, and we can factor in the side effects that are going to come from it, that's the important thing. The unintended consequences of doing something like this could be significant. But, you know, after, I think in a few hundred years, the world is going to look like a very different place if we don't just destroy ourselves in the meantime. you can only just sort of imagine what it's going to be like. Yeah, why not? Okay, fish with human teeth. Okay.
I need a palate cleanser.
I actually have very few palate cleansers this week. It's pretty silly. But here we go. Here's I ran into this channel of this guy who does a lot of drumming. And so I have a couple things from him, which I think are pretty funny. So this is Samsung washing machine song turned into beat. I love the fact that the Korean appliances all sort of sing to you all the time. That that they make the little happy laundry songs. Do you have one of those, Skep?
Korean appliances? No.
Yeah, like the LGs and stuff. They always play like little songs.
The LGs, I've got the LG washer and dryer.
So that's the Samsung one.
Yeah.
And so
we have a Miele dishwasher.
Yeah.
And this version, because this is a more newer gen, it has a Finnish song too. It makes a cute little jingle.
It does. My my rice cooker, my fancy Japanese rice cooker, my Weeb rice cooker, actually plays little songs too, like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and a few other little things when different things happen. Hey, why not? It's fun. But his is the same guy, but it's turning a paper flower tutorial into a beat.
7、12变怎么样的变？记住4个字的口诀。第1个字叫做摸上边，第2个字只要摸它下边，第3个字要摸它的左边，第4个字只要摸它右边。摸完它的上边，再摸它的下边，摸完它的左边，再摸右边。2个手一拉，一动往下这么插，你看倒头就能变，或者踩横条，然后点头就能变。
And you can dance to it.
I like it.
I like it too. It's just good, wholesome fun. It's just good, wholesome fun.
I do love that he's in a horse mask too. That
Yes,
adds to it.
yes,
It does add a little to it.
Makes it the best.
Yeah, I like it.
That just adds to it. Good stuff, Harry. Thank you.
I'm just trying not to sneeze. My allergies are just completely off the charts right now. My eyes are all red and I'm just miserable and I'm trying not to let it come through the microphone, but it's a problem.
It's because you live in...
I live in a place where life exists and nature is happy.
Where that sort of pollen that affects you badly.
Yeah. It does get me sometimes. I have like terrible allergies. They sent me to the allergist when I was a little kid and they just said, well, it's easier to list the things you're not allergic to. I'm like a little bit allergic to a lot of things, but I'm not like super allergic to anything. So it just means that my whole life is kind of a low level of misery. So it's like, oh, well, the pollen's dying off because it's winter. Oh, now it's raining. So now your mold allergies are going to kick in. It's just like, it's just always something. I know. Let's send, where's the thing?
All right, everybody take a drink.
It's so sad.
Poor.
Okay. Well, there was another thing that was in the thumbnail, which is I've been getting all of these things in my feed where it's somebody, but it almost sounds like AI, just sort of doing AI stuff with psychology and then talking about men sort of as they age. Don't you need AI and journalists to tell you about your life, Skep, and what it's like to be you?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that just the best? Is just people basically age-splaining to you, age-splaining, and I don't know.
People telling me all the things that I don't understand.
Yeah. So like there's this article here. I spent 43 years being the person everyone could count on, showing up early, staying late, covering shifts, lending money I couldn't spare. And the toughest lesson came at 61 when I needed help moving and nobody answered their phone. And I finally understood that reliability is not the same currency as love.
This feels AI.
This is so AI. But what's bad about it is it's playing on the fears and insecurity of older men.
Yes.
And it's like a calculated attack to make guys like Skep doubt themselves and all the things. Of course, he's surrounded by like this huge family of people that love him and call him Grampy and all that sort of stuff. So he's largely immune. He has the emotional flak jacket to just slough this stuff off, but a lot of other guys don't. So just plant that little seed of what's going to happen by this Farley Ledgerwood guy, who's, I'm sure, a totally real person.
One of the things that I try and convey to those little grandchildren, kids, my friends, that when you do something for someone, never expect a payback. Always just give it away. Always that should be your ideal. That should be what you go for every time. If you want to do something, do it. Do it for the reason that you want to do it. That's what I try and get them to be honest about what they want to do in life and why they want to do it. Visit that in their mind.
I kind of hate psychologists. I mean, broadly speaking, not as individuals. And the thing about psychology as a science, because it's really cooking is more of a science than psychology, honestly, is they study all these people, they characterize things in a particular way, and they're almost like tier 1 tech support. They just go down their little check log. Oh, you have this. You have this from this page of the DSM-5. Therefore, you fall into this particular thing. You know, you may be complicated enough on any given day to experience multiple different emotions, to have multiple different things driving you. Here's another one of these things. Psychology says men who built their entire identity around their career don't just struggle in retirement. Their brains begin grieving a role that no longer exists, and the people around them often mistake that grief for laziness.
Yeah,
go fuck yourself. Just go fuck yourself, AI.
Theory.
Yeah.
About how it must work that way. This is what I call midwit speculation.
It is absolutely midwit. It might even be quarter wit. This is like the lowest form of everything.
Mm-hmm.
I hate this so much.
Yes. It's nothing approaching science.
I've seen people quite happily retire. They work their whole life off. They're proud of what they've accomplished, and they go, "This is a new part of my life." They turn the page, and suddenly it's like they're a new person. They're unburdened by what has been, right? This is a fiction. This is a narrative that somebody's creating, or that AI is creating to try to get clicks.
You're looking at somebody like that who happily walked away from his industry. Happily.
Yeah. And if you are a person like this, you would just never stop. You could literally just volunteer and mentor kids, or just, there's so many things you can do if you just want to stay involved. If you need to stay involved, just stay involved. If you want to go fishing and enjoy your life because you've done your time, then you do that. But I hate this stuff.
You can do kind of a mix of it like I do.
You know where this started is one of my IRL friends said, "Oh, I just found this article you might be interested in." And I was probably a little brusque, and I just said, "No, I'm not interested in somebody pathologizing my aging process." I said, I don't want to have anything to do with this article, and you should just stop looking at it because it's crap. Now, that was a little blunt, but that's the way I am when I get annoyed. And then suddenly my feed was full of this crap.
I like to read these articles, just at least the synopsis, so I can try and figure out what's wrong with the author. Try and figure out what their pathology is. Usually you can figure out that they're trying to get some kind of point of view across. Let's see what deficiency exists in their background.
Well, surprising no one. Let's see if we can make this go away. SF cop investigated for using flock license plate reader data to track wife's stolen car.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that is there's supposed to be a process by which people have access to this stuff. It's supposed to be tightly controlled. And you know, if some guy can do this with this, some other guy's probably using it to keep an eye on his ex-girlfriend. There's 1,000 different ways this sort of information can be used. Cell phone tracking data is the same kind of thing. A lot of cops at a pretty low level have almost unfettered access. They're on the honor system when it comes to being able to access this stuff.
But was the cop investigating the stolen car?
Yeah. But it wasn't a
So
case
a
that he was
cop-
working. He had a personal interest in this.
Oh,
he used the
it is
system
the
to track
wife
down
of
his
the cop.
wife's. Yeah.
It's the wife of the cop.
Yeah.
And so the cop just said, "I'll find it for you, honey."
Yeah, I'll find it for you, honey. It's fine.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's
A San
it's not
Francisco
a
police
huge
officer
sin.
used automated license plate reader cameras to search for his wife's stolen car in violation of department rules, and internal affairs investigation found. According to a report presented to the police commission this month, the unnamed officer obtained flock safety camera images of the car and posted them on Instagram, claiming that it had been stolen from a relative. The San Francisco Police Department discovered the abuse when an unnamed law enforcement agency reported that its license plate reader images had been shared on social media. After conducting an audit, blah, 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 blah. This is like the more or less benign use of this thing. But if it's that easy for him to just go in there and do that, you know that it's being used for a lot of other stuff it's not supposed to be used for. Ex-wives, ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends. If you've ever had your somebody wanted to be your significant other hide in the bush outside your house, you'll know what this feeling of ick is I'm talking about.
Yeah.
These things happen. I'm actually all in favor of not having these cameras except in certain places. Like, for instance, ports of entry into the U.S. I think we have a vested interest in knowing who's going to and from the ports, right?
Yes.
But generally speaking, driving around your neighborhood and the streets where you live, you shouldn't be able to just go into a computer and figure out where people are all the time by just typing in a few keys. That's just way too much power for regular people to have.
What is the reasonable personal expectation of privacy? Of being in your home, you have the reasonable expectation of not being known to the authorities, basically. Is that a thing?
We've had this discussion before, and I think I still stand by what I said in the past. It's not about that you have an absolute right to privacy in public spaces. I'm not saying that. What you have a right to is not being surveilled as you conduct your business outside, not having like a drone follow you around and chart every single place you go.
And where does that affirmative right descend from? What privacy right does that descend from? This is what always trips up the Fourth.
Well, it would be the Fourth Amendment, because I would say that it's an illegal search if you don't have a warrant for tracking somebody around. Just following citizens around for no particular reason and keeping tabs on where everybody goes and who everybody talks to, that is unreasonable.
You'd have to get into what are the elements of a legal search. We get into an area of detail of black letter law that way below, I think, what we can parse on this.
If you pulled over somebody for a Terry stop that was legal one time, and then you Terry stopped them every block that they went down, it would go from being a legal thing to being an illegal thing. That's no different than what I'm talking about with these flock cameras. If you have this data and you mask it, and then you need a court order or some sort of legal process to get access to it, that's fine.
How do you draw that line?
How does anybody draw the line? You know, it's like freedom of speech. You know, when do you shout fire in a theater loudly enough that the law kicks in?
No, I mean, how do you draw that line here? What is permitted? What is permissive? What is permitted? What is not permitted?
Well, there's legal standards and tests that are applied to figure out if something violates a Fourth Amendment right. And they vary based on which district of the courts you are in the United States. It's an evolving set of law, because technology is kind of out in front of some of this stuff. You know, are you saying that absent some constitutional right, for instance, the government has the legal authority to monitor every conversation you have, who you have it with, when you have it, and where you are at all times when you're not within the curtilage of your primary residence? Because I don't think that flies.
No, I'm not saying that. I think I'm saying that neither one really exists. And that that almost has to be, that's going to have to be decided legislatively.
Well, it'd be nice if they decide legislatively instead of letting the courts make it up. But you don't have an absolute right.
The colliding rights things feels like there's a lot of apples and oranges things going on.
Yeah.
Where legislation would sure clear this up.
Well, if you accept my premise that there is a level at which surveillance in public becomes oppressive enough that there's a legal concern,
right?
Then we're just discussing implementation at this point. Now, there are people who might say, well, it doesn't matter, right?
My point is, where does that line exist? Where does it cross it?
It's just like the first time people are, using this kind of data to abduct, 16-year-old girls and throw them into slavery or something is when people wake up and go, yeah, I hadn't thought about that. And then suddenly we get a bunch of laws. I'd rather figure it out ahead of time.
Right.
And, I'm like a small L libertarian. I'm right there with you. I don't think that stop and frisk in like a high crime area is necessarily a bad thing. I don't even think racial profiling is such a bad thing when it makes sense. If you have a description of a suspect, stopping and frisking people who don't match the description is stupid. But I don't think that having 24/7 surveillance of people outside of their home is constitutional. I think it violates the Fourth Amendment, but that's just my opinion.
Big believer in broken window policing. Turned New York around at one time.
Yeah. For a bit there, yeah.
Yep. Well, I think a lot of these rules where people are saying they don't have to identify themselves, I can see where not being harassed by the police, because a lot of times people will be harassed for constitutionally protected behavior because police are terrible sometimes, especially in smaller towns and in bigger towns. And then you end up with a whole bunch of police reports that have somebody's name in them, right? They have this person's name, Joe Smith. He shows up 1,000 times in our database, and that 1,000 little microaggressions against the law somehow get turned into, okay, now this guy's a person of interest when he hasn't done a single thing that's actually wrong. So I can see where they don't want people to have to stop and show ID all the time. But if you're cops and you have a reasonable suspicion that somebody's like loitering outside of a business in an area where there's a lot of break-ins, I don't see the problem with asking somebody, who the hell are you? What are you doing here? Writing down their identification information and sending them on their merry way in a timely fashion, not like, waiting 2 hours for the drug dogs to show up kind of thing. I'm actually pretty pro-police for the most part, but it was way too easy for this guy to get into this license plate reader thing. Okay.
Yeah, no, I am with you on this. It says a little bit just creepy. I don't like that.
I have a really good imagination for ways that things can be used against you. So, sorry, we're losing viewers. I'm being boring. Okay, so this is less boring. Palantir and other tech companies are stocking offices with nicotine products to increase worker productivity. So imagine you go into the break room and they've got like Zins and whatever other little nicotine products there for people to use. That's one way to get people to do more work, right?
What in the world?
I don't even know how to respond to that.
I am absolutely gobsmacked.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
You shitting me?
It was visible before. Now they're telling me I can't see it. But they've even done partnerships with some of the manufacturers, and I can't remember the names of them right now. But in one instance, they actually have vending machines in the break areas that are branded with the name of the product, and you can go and get your nicotine
Amazing.
Fix. Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it'll boost productivity. I mean, from a pharmacological perspective, I'm not an expert on this, but I know enough to know that nicotine is a really interesting drug pharmacologically speaking.
It just does so much for oxygen absorption.
Yeah, and if you take away the benzo alpha pyrines and all the other crap that comes from burning tobacco that you're putting in your lungs, you can, nicotine as a drug is pretty amazing. It does all kinds of things to your body that boost productivity, manage appetite.
It can even kill you.
It can, well, in high enough doses, yeah.
Yep. Very efficient.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, let's see. How are we doing?
Nicotine is our friend.
Thank you for smoking.
We need to get kids on nicotine. That's what we ought to do.
Yeah, help them grow up strong.
Get those elementary school kids on nicotine.
Okay.
Give Sally and Johnny some cigs for their birthday.
Okay, functional.
Or
no.
No? Come on, just say yes.
Yes.
Okay. So in Santa Cruz, there was the Salty Otter. Go away, Jesus Christ. Salty Otter owner says AI logo uproar has crushed her lifelong dream. So this woman had, the restaurant industry, tough, blah, 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 blah. So she opened up a restaurant and she decided it's called the Salty Otter. There's an otter on a surfboard, Sora, you'll love that. But she generated the logo using AI by prompting. And the people in Santa Cruz decided this was bullshit because you should pay some artist to actually produce this thing. Now, as a microcosm, I like the fact that it's a backlash against AI, but at the same time, it's got like a weird sort of, I don't know. How do you feel about this? Do you think that people who use AI for business stuff like this should be shamed?
I
Not
mean,
really.
not to the extent that she was in terms of, you know, I don't know if she's closing it down or whatever. But that being said, you kind of, you know, do you not know what people's like opinion? No, okay, hold on. I don't know if it's just because we're like perpetually online and we don't like AI, because I know a lot of people probably think it's very good outside of the internet. So maybe she's one of those people. And that's why she wasn't in the know that a lot of people just are against that. Maybe. But there's like, isn't there an artistic thing where you like you initially spend like $5 and then they create something for you?
Yeah, Fiverr.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, right. And then you're not and you don't end up spending a lot of money initially, and once you get your business off the ground, you can always change. But I suppose rebranding then becomes very expensive in the long run. I don't know. It does make me side eye your business. I'm not gonna lie if I see that.
Yeah,
And
it is
if
a
it's
little icky.
blatantly AI, like I just feel like, where else are you cutting corners? You know?
Yeah. Oh, Assassin's saying like I watch too much TV about misbehaving cops. No, I live in a state where there have been high-profile cases about cops doing just terrible shit to like exes and current wives and stuff, like the Scott Peterson case, for instance. We have, I don't know how it is in the rest of the country, but we've had plenty of examples of cops and sheriffs and people doing some pretty shady stuff involving people in their lives, abusing police authority. It's not a hypothetical, I promise. Sorry. Yeah, the use of the AI thing, I think it's actually kind of good, but at the same time, the way the mob reacts to businesses in places like California and Portland, where they just go, you've got a taco stand and you're not actually Mexican. You can't sell tacos if you're not Mexican. And they just put these people out of business. Her business isn't ruined, but I guess she came up with some new logo that is just, simple and not AI generated to replace it. Oh, they don't show it anymore. Okay. But I mean, honestly, it sounds pretty good to me. Multiple TVs, pool table, dartboard, arcade games, live entertainment, 30 draft beers, cider, kombucha, bleh. Non-alcoholic beer, mocktails, frozen drinks, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Okay. Count me in. Unfortunately, it'll probably be shitty pool tables. I'm a real snob about that. They're probably not even 7-foot bar boxes. They're probably those little 6-foot, I'm pretending to play pool tables that they have at places like this. Yes, I'm being an elitist. I apologize. Okay, moving on. Let's see. We have 10 more minutes. Oh, I made a terrible joke about Botox while you were gone.
Hey.
Yeah. So it turns out that at Planned Parenthood, they're branching out in California in some locations. They're offering Botox and hydration therapy, IV hydration therapy.
Okay.
It's your one-stop shop for... Sure. Yeah, why not? Let's see. We've got an opera about Star Trek. That's good. I have this under "This is fine," but I mislabeled it, so I can't tell for sure if I'm supposed to click on this thing. Anything could happen. Let's see. We'll just swap this here, and then I'll take a look and see if it is actually fine. See, I don't even trust my own spreadsheet.
My name is Cal.
No, we're not going to do that. That's something Geodes sent me, and I'm not in the mood at the moment. Nothing against you, Geodes, but it's not the right time. Let's see. Solve the energy crisis.
You want to talk about how hot Leon Kennedy is in the new Resident Evil game? Everyone's losing their mind over him.
In a moment.
As a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
So this is a bunch of people, and I'm sure this is not like a real protest, but it's people dressed up as vegetables protesting a vegan restaurant.
When do we want it?
Okay,
Hey, you can talk.
This is funny. I like this.
You're the murderer. Come and face your victims like a man.
Onions cry too.
This is fun, don't you think?
I like this.
Are you customers or do you work here?
I work here.
This is really just performance art.
Vegan food's gotta go. Onions cry too. Onions cry too.
I like it. Eat more cows. Vegan farts smell. I've been to a few vegan restaurants, and it is a bit of a crime scene sometimes.
Depends where you go. There used to be one that I really liked going to. They had actually delicious food. And it was definitely more high end.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I understand, so it's closed down now for a couple of years, but the owner went on a racist tirade
Wow.
on a Google like response to a review, and it went downhill from there.
So did he go full Michael Richards or full Rage After Storm? How far into racism did he go?
Well, I
Rage
don't know.
After
I don't quite know Michael Richards, so I'm not sure.
He just started throwing a bunch of N-bombs around at a comedy show.
Do you know who he is?
No.
The Seinfeld guy,
He
Kramer.
was the
Kramer?
door gag. He was the door gag in Seinfeld. The what's his name?
The
Kramer.
skinny guy?
Cosmo
Yeah.
Kramer.
I did not know that was his real name. Oh yeah, that I remember for sure.
Yeah.
No. This guy's of Southeast Asian descent, and if I remember correctly, it was a Chinese lady was the one that he like lost his shit over on, and it just went from there. However, there was allegations that there was a young girl who was working there who was accused of stealing money and was fired regarding that, and they had refused to show like the security camera footage.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a big deal because she happened to be half black.
Mm.
And so that came after the tirade, and then just continued going on, and it's really sad because that was a delicious restaurant, and I was so bummed out that it ended up closing down.
Damn.
So I don't know. Maybe this vegan food does something to you. I don't know.
There was this one vegan
But
restaurant.
Everyone was excited over this because it's like a little bit of drama in the city.
It is a little bit of
usually
drama.
Feels boring.
Yeah.
So.
Trying to see if we have any leftover palate cleansers from last week. Oh, it's not a palate cleanser, but I keep forgetting to put this thing in. Hey, Skep, I think this is going to shock even you. You've been around for a while. You're pretty cynical. I'm going to tell you something about California high-speed rail, which even you're probably not going to believe. I would bet money you're not going to believe this. Okay. High-speed rail wants to capture taxes around stations. They've decided that wherever they build stations for the high-speed rail that's totally going to be completed, They want to capture the taxes and control the land use within a half-mile radius of where the stations are that they're putting in. And their argument is that they're entitled to this because they're enriching the area.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
That's
So
asserting the right.
how does that work?
Wow.
So if you lived or worked in the area, your taxes go to them, or you get more taxes?
So how this works is, suppose you're Stockton, and I think it's Stockton. One of them, the half-mile radius includes most of the downtown part of the town. So essentially, that no longer becomes something that the city taxes. All of the taxes and the fees and all that stuff basically go to the rail authority for high-speed rail instead of where it used to going to the town. But in return, they're going to manage things like land use and zoning and all the other stuff around that station. Essentially, they're carving out a chunk of the town to be theirs, to no longer be part of the city, to effectively be their part of the town. Yeah, that doesn't mean that these people can't vote for the mayor of the town and other stuff, but as in terms of taxes and fees and property taxes and stuff, it would all go to this thing. This thing that totally is going to, it's totally going to support itself, and we totally need this thing, and it makes so much sense that we have to essentially carve out sections of cities in order to pay for it long term.
And they want to start collecting the taxes now, don't they?
I think they're not going for it just yet. Let's see.
That'll happen.
But this is an understatement here. The idea is already running into scrutiny from local politicians and experts who advocate for local government. Do you think any of these cities who wanted these stations to be put in, who agreed to this, because a lot of them were skeptical and didn't want it at all, had to be convinced? Do you think any of them would have agreed to this, even one, if they had known this was something that they were asking for?
For a second, this has always been a marginal thing.
Mm-hmm.
This has always been marginal utility. The various towns.
The only way this makes sense, Scap, is if they're saying something ridiculous so that they can compromise on something else, and people will feel like they won something by dodging this bullet. That's the only way I can think politically this works. This is beyond the pale. And I don't shock easily. I'm actually shocked by this proposal. Gotta say, I did not see this one coming.
This seems crazy. This seems unhinged.
It is. Yep. The rail authority last year started pitching ideas, including control over land use and the ability to capture local tax revenues that it says will help quicken construction and avoid unexpected cost increases as it seeks to accomplish the original vision of an LA to San Francisco train. Yeah. Fuck right off. I mean, seriously, just
we're going to impoverish every town we go through. We're just going to suck the life out of everything we go through. That's what bureaucracy does. This just does it more efficiently.
Yep.
This is a destructive thing.
So did I show you this one? The why California is broke and Texas is not? I don't think I did.
Dog along a nature trail. Coyote jumps out, attacks the governor's dog, then bites the governor. The governor starts to intervene, but reflects upon the movie Bambi, then realizes he should stop because the coyote is only doing what is natural. He calls animal control. Animal control captures the coyote, bills the state $200, testing it for diseases, $500 for relocating it. He calls a veterinarian. The vet collects the dead dog, bills the state $200, testing it for diseases. The governor goes to the hospital, spends $3,500 getting checked for diseases from the coyote, and then getting his bite wound bandaged. The running trail gets shut down for 6 months while Fish and Game conducts a $100,000 survey to make sure the area is now free of dangerous animals.
You know, even though this is a joke, this really does ring true.
The governor spends $50,000 in state funds implementing a coyote awareness program for the residents of the area. State legislature spends $2 million to study how to better treat rabies and how to permanently eradicate the disease throughout the world. The governor's security agent is fired for not stopping the attack. The state spends $150,000 to hire and train a new agent with additional special training regarding the nature of coyotes. PETA protests the coyotes' relocation, files a $5 million suit against the state. Texas. The governor of Texas is jogging with his dog along a nature trail. A coyote jumps out, attacks his dog. The governor shoots the coyote with his state-issued pistol, keeps jogging.
That's pretty much it.
How we roll.
That's how you roll. There's no problem so small that we can't turn it into a $1 million problem in California. Remember the $1 million outhouse that they built in San Francisco a few years ago?
The one toilet.
Yeah.
One
shitter.
It was supposed to come in at only $225,000. It came in at $1.1 million. Was that the one I remember?
Yeah.
Standalone kind of a thing.
Yeah. I wonder how much public health money's been spent curing the diseases that people have incurred through one means or another in that outhouse.
Not wrong.
Yeah. It's pretty terrible. All right. Well, we've done our 2 hours.
We did.
Sorry if things are a little low energy tonight. I heard it sounded like there was a sideshow or something going on near me, but I decided it wasn't close enough that I needed to care. So sorry for stepping away earlier.
All is well.
All right.